Are you ready for some Week 11 football? Let's talk. Let's talk with some confidence. I'm feeling good about going over the algorithm here early and putting it out to everyone. You can download a copy of this in the description. It's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy. I realized I was like, well, if the coaches and the players and people are taking a look at this and using it, it's actually a roadmap on how to win the game. And it has worked over years, so maybe the coaches are using it, and maybe it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So we say play this way and you'll win, and they play that way and they win. So I'm putting the videos out early. I've noticed it's more helpful if I put them out on Thursdays instead of Sundays. So here we go. Now, I noticed some errors in last week's file, though. I looked at some things last week, and what happened was we had Chargers over Minnesota. It was this huge pick, and basically we have some rankings for how people or how teams respond when they're at home or on the road, and how much more points they'll score at home or how much more they'll give up on the road. And it was distorted for Minnesota last week because I forgot to change this over here. It's just one little cell up here. It says should be the current week in red, and I just glossed over it for 3 weeks because I'm not all that bright sometimes. And that's what happened. So it's fixed now. A lot of things are fixed now, and now everything's kind of making some sense. So let's talk about the games. We'll get to the Thursday night game second after we talk about the top rated game. So here we are fully in line with the odds makers in that Tampa Bay wins this game and that they cover. And the reason why is that Tampa Bay tends to put up more points than average at home, and the Giants especially give up more when they are on the road. And this is why it's such a distorted game, and I'm okay with this. I don't like taking anybody minus 10.5, and Brady's coming off 2 interceptions last week, and he is like 74 years old. So I don't like taking the spread here. But money line, on a parlay, I mean, it's paying nothing. It's kind of a tough game to play in general, but I like that it's at the top of the list because it makes sense completely. All right, now the Patriots and Falcons game. So here we are. That's the Thursday night game. Says that the Patriots win this by more than 7, have no trouble covering. They have been running it up on teams. Belichick versus just a disoriented Atlanta team seems like they cover this game. It says they win by 17. I mean, normally I would say don't take a team minus points, but they're supposed to win this game by more than a touchdown. Everything's consistent with it. The alternate score has them also winning by 15. So if they don't cover 7, they don't cover 7, but they're supposed to. So I will recommend that pick. The over-under set at 47. We're predicting 45, so I feel like that's too close to do anything with because you never know when Atlanta's either going to score or not going to score. But the Patriots probably win this. They definitely win this game, and they probably cover the spread. Detroit over Cleveland. What? I know. I was like, I saw this earlier in the week. I was like, what is going on here? Even the alternate score is fine. So I don't know if Odell Beckham Jr. took away all the heart of Cleveland. They played a miserable game last week. What happened with them last week, Cleveland? Didn't they get destroyed by the Patriots? Right? What was the score of that game? What was the score of that game? Somewhere hiding in here. Score of that game was 45-7 Patriots. So even though I don't, personally I'm like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Well, why is Cleveland playing so bad? Maybe there's something that we just don't know. And the algorithm's picking up on it. So, I mean, there you go. Just like Jacksonville plus 11.5 or plus 10 points last week, Detroit plus 11.5 is the play. Will they beat Cleveland? I mean, maybe. Maybe throw a little bit on a straight bet. Definitely wouldn't put Detroit to win this game on a round robin. That's way, way too risky. But plus 11.5, not too risky. I mean, this is a third pick on the list for the algorithm. Like, wow. And the alternate score agrees. So I don't see any errors or haven't found any errors in the algorithm so far this week. So I'll stick by it. Niners supposed to beat the Jags. Supposed to cover 6. I don't think the Niners are a good team. But the Jacksonville is pretty bad. Alternate score is 24-20, says they don't cover the spread. So I'm gonna call this unbettable game. I don't like this line. I don't like this game. I don't like this game at all. I'm gonna leave that one off. Saints over the Eagles. Eagles have been playing better. Alternate score is exactly the same as the projected score, and the Saints are plus 115 because this is in Philadelphia. Wow. I mean, here you are. You're the fifth pick of the list. It says take the Saints. We have had a lot of trouble predicting the Saints this year, so there is that. But that's an underdog line. I mean, look at weird stuff, right? I guess it goes on a Simeon play. I guess I don't know what it says. Cincinnati and the Raiders. Raiders falling apart. Cincinnati hasn't been playing well the last few weeks even. But I just feel like, I mean, didn't Ruggs have to go in to go to court because he failed the test? Like they can't shake this. Like everyone's thinking about trouble in Vegas. What stays in Vegas is not staying in Vegas. It's all over the news. And so I get Cincinnati winning this game. It's minus 110. Alternate score says it's even more in favor of Cincinnati because apparently maybe there's some Raiders defensive injuries. Yeah, Cincinnati's D is healthy at 4%, and the Raiders D is not at 19% injured. So that's a pretty good pick for Cincinnati there. That's good. Baltimore at the Bears. 7-point game. Have to cover 4.5. Alternate score has them winning by 7. Baltimore's been having trouble covering sometimes. Bears got screwed by the refs against the Steelers the other week. It's minus 220. I think Baltimore on the money line is okay. Not okay on the spread, in my opinion, even though the algorithm says they will cover that. Buffalo at home against Indianapolis. 6-point game. They're minus 300. They got to cover 7. Tough. Alternate score says 34-19, though. Ooh, right, because of the Indianapolis injuries on D. Wow, 48% D injured for Indianapolis. What? Whoa. Let's see what that looks like. That is questionables, though. They're questionable, so they're not all out. So that's important. They're not all necessarily out. Darius Leonard's not necessarily out. So you can learn not to trust the alternate projections that much when people are questionably injured. They're making that a tough game to bet. Buffalo probably going to win this game after coming off that weird loss in Jacksonville. They're going to want it, but are they going to cover 7 because Indianapolis can fight? This is just way too tough a game to bet. I mean, you could put Buffalo on a money line on a round robin, but it doesn't pay. Carolina with Cam Newton against the Washington Football Club. 25-19. Or 28-18. Washington, they're not going to beat another team after beating Tampa Bay. That's a one-off there. Minus 160 is an okay line. I think Cam Newton is still healthy and early. It's like his second game of the season. He did well in preseason before they cut him with the Patriots. I like Carolina here for sure, right? Minus 160. It's good money line. I wouldn't mess with the minus 3 because you never really know, but the minus 160 is okay. Minnesota at Green Bay. I hate Minnesota. I hate Minnesota in general. I shouldn't say that. Some okay people in Minnesota. But I don't like this team. I don't like what the algorithm has done with this team. Also, I don't like what the algorithm has done with the Packers all season long. So I'd say the algorithm's telling you it's confused about these two teams. So I wouldn't even touch this game. Even though you get plus 108 with Minnesota, I just stay away. The algorithm's been wrong with these two teams all season long, so just leave it at that. Arizona, what's the injury situation with Kyler Murray and everybody? What's going on? He's in here. He's probably still questionable, right? Yeah, still questionable. DeAndre Hopkins still questionable. Son of a gun. Talk about game time decisions there. They're just making it difficult on you. Russell Wilson's fingers still in different directions. I feel like tough game to play. Just like I said, not acting on reasonable information. Jets over the Dolphins. We do have the Jets rule. We hear the algorithm, even if the algorithm says to do it. We never, ever, ever bet on the Jets. Ever. Unless they bring back Joe Namath, we are not betting on the Jets ever. So I'm just going to ignore this game. It's by two bad team rule. Chiefs and Cowboys. 25-23 Chiefs. They're favored Alternate projection 24-22 minus 2.5. Yeah, you tell me the odds makers aren't using this algorithm to come up with their lines. Son of a gun right there. Oh, man. Tough game. Well, that's going to be a really good game, too. I don't know what to do there. If anything, we're down on this list, so if you can get Dallas +3, that's some interesting. Because either they're just going to blow out Dallas in a weird way like Denver did, or Dallas is going to play good like they've been playing sometimes. And if Dallas plays good, they can win this game for sure, because the Chiefs' defense is a little bit sketchy sometimes. But Dallas +3 is really interesting if you can get that alternate line. Chargers and Steelers, Big Ben is in probably. What's the story on that? Steelers, where you at, Ben? Big Ben is not in. Uh-oh. What's the story there? Big Ben's still out with COVID? I don't know how to spell Roethlisberger. Yeah, let's just go with Ben R. He's right there. He is illness reserved. I guess, they'll be sneaky and maybe he'll be, he's a bigger guy. You know what? Actually, we haven't talked about this. What about like legitimate people that get COVID bad and their health is not perfect when they come back? I wonder if that's the situation, because we are now in week 2 of this. That makes this even more sketchy and makes you want to take the Chargers, who are he's probably fully out. That's what this line is representing, that Ben is fully out. It's way down on this list, and you can see how weak the Steelers are without him. It provides some value, but once again, you're working on really sketchy information here on Thursday. And then Tennessee's only favorite against Houston 2019. What? Why? What? Is somebody quarterback out or something? That's funky. That's weird. I fixed the kicker situation. I don't know what's going on there. It's saying take Houston +10, but Houston's terrible, so I just stay away from that completely. All right, so what have we learned? We've learned that on Thursday night the Patriots are supposed to cover the 6.5. So we can pretty confidently say they're supposed to do that. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but they're supposed to do that here on Thursday night, especially the way they've been putting up points. We've learned that Tampa Bay is going to win, but this is still too many points, I feel like, in my opinion. And there might be an over situation in this game. Actually, look at this. What's the over-under set at 49.5? Even the alternate score still has 59 points. So anything in this game, I'd say take the over, because the Giants tend to give up a lot more on the road and Tampa Bay tends to score more at home. So all those competing factors make an over a better bet if you have to play something in that game. Detroit, this is crazy. Detroit +11.5. I say we never bet on the Jets. You can bet on Detroit once in a while. I know that they're supposed, but the Jets are just terrible. But Detroit sometimes, they fought the Steelers hard into a tie. By the way, it made me laugh. I've been setting up the this pro reference sheet with a tie column already in here, because every year it happens and I get annoyed when I have to insert the column and reformulate everything when the tie actually happens. So I just leave the tie in there from year to year, and I was like, yes, we had a tie last weekend. Heck yeah. Things get easy. So Detroit, the algorithm throwing them all the way up here. Yeah, Detroit +11.5. I mean, we'll see if I bite my tongue later, but that is what it is saying. It says they win this game. Craziness. To stay away from this. Oh, man, it's saying take the Saints, but we've had trouble with the Saints. So on your round robins, I'm suspect of this. Cincinnati looks good against the Raiders. Ravens look good against the Bears. Buffalo staying away. Carolina looks good against Washington. Stay away. Stay away. Definitely stay away. Consider Dallas +3 here if you can get it. And probably the Chargers win because Ben's out. And that's our update for Thursday. So good luck, everybody, and may all your picks be winning.